Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Working Settlement Roller Coaster mod, which is being made by user Leia the Unknown. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a fully functioning roller coaster that you can build and then ride within your settlements, and that is friggin' amazing. And it's not all you get. As a fun little bonus, there's also a Ferris wheel. So you could create your own small little theme park here in the Commonwealth, and I love that tremendously. So let's take a look at what exactly we do get with this mod, starting with, of course, the roller coaster, which, as you can see here, is freaking gigantic. I had to go build it on Spectacle Island because, frankly, it's darn near the size of Spectacle Island. But it's a great and, again, fully functioning, rideable roller coaster. And then we also do get the Ferris wheel, also quite large, but more in the tall rather than full breadth of the whole situation. And this one, sadly, at least at the moment, does not seem to be actually rideable, but it is a fun little set piece. Now, how you go about making these things is pretty simple. Now, there is going to be a prerequisite. You are going to need the Nuka World DLC for this whole mod to function. Now, with that installed and the mod, you just gotta go into the workshop mode, and in the special category, you have two new items, the coaster marker and the Ferris wheel marker. So you're not actually building the full-on, just giant-size Ferris wheel or roller coaster, you're getting a much smaller thing, and then the roller coaster or Ferris wheel will appear from wherever you place this thing. So it can be a little bit finicky, and you may have to build and destroy it a few times to get it into the exact place you're wanting, but once you got it, and in a decent-ish place, I think I built it here last time and it worked fairly well, boom, let's wait for this thing to spawn, and there we go. We've got a roller coaster in our world. It's gigantic, and one of the reasons for it needing to do this is because, well, frankly, of the sheer size. This thing is way bigger than Starlight Drive-In, and it's still going to build it. Even if it goes outside of the build zone, it is going to create, say, like that post way over there on the hilltop. It's gonna be just fine. So that's why it uses the marker rather than the full-size thing, because basically the only place you could build it otherwise is at Spectacle Island itself. And it's the same deal for the Ferris wheel, and the Ferris wheel is a bit more, easy to figure out exactly where it's gonna go. It seems to place, fairly well. Problem with it is where it actually likes to attach to the ground is way too low. So in my testing, what I've had to do is grab like two of the like concrete blocks there, stack them on top of one another, and then place this ever so slightly clipping through the top block, and that seems to place the Ferris wheel where you need it to be. But let's just go ahead and place it here. This one too will pop into existence, and there you go. We've got now a Ferris wheel kind of clipping into our roller coaster. Good times, good times. That I built it a little bit farther back, we actually wouldn't have a clipping issue. Neat. Neat. Now, these are, of course, able to be scrapped, which is handy, just in case you do, like I said, place it in the wrong spot, and you'll get back not all, but a variety of the materials you put in, which is always convenient. So let's go ahead and just grab this Ferris wheel. And as for the materials on these things, oh boy, it's a lot. The steel on this one for the Ferris wheel, 450, 300 concrete, 225 on the gears, 150 screws, and 150 copper. And that's nothing compared to the roller coaster marker. 1,000 steel, 300 aluminum, 500 concrete, 175 gears, 300 screws, 125 circuitry, and 425 copper. That is a whole heck of a lot of materials, but I mean, it's a giant roller coaster, so, you know, it kind of makes sense. Now, I do also need to mention that there are a couple of different versions of this mod, that you can choose to download. Basically, there are 3. You have the normal mode, which makes it so that you have to actually complete the Nuka World main questline before you can build a roller coaster. So you have to experience theme park life before being able to construct one yourself. And once you get that, you'll be able to build this coaster anywhere else, and it should give your settlements 1,000 happiness. Now, the next version is a no-quest version, where it's gonna let you build the roller coaster and Ferris wheel, but without completing the Nuka World questline. But as a trade-off, this one's only gonna give you 200 happiness for, you know, the gigantic coaster. And the final one is the super cheap version, where you just build it. It gives you no happiness, and all of the things, either for the coaster or Ferris wheel, are going to cost 1/10 the price. So it's just a build and have fun sort of a thing. So pretty neat overall. You do got options. I'm on the super cheap one here because, well, this character has not done Nuka World, and yeah, I needed to build the things. Now, as for how you do ride the coaster, you literally just have to go anywhere and click ride. Now, if you want, you can go all the way up those stairs, find the little rocket at the top, and get in. But yes, you can literally click on any portion of the ride, and it will teleport you up into the little rocket ship, and it will eventually start to go. Basically, we are currently stuck in this rocket, which is kind of a furniture item, and I now have no control over where my character is looking. The mouse is locked in this position. I'm waggling it furiously, and yeah, the mouse is gonna go, or rather the view is gonna go wherever the ride determines, and that's it. But other than that, I mean, we're riding a roller coaster that we built at Starlight Drive-In, and that is magnificent. Now, as for some issues, this mod overall is kind of still in a beta stage, so there are still some kinks to work out. For instance, well, clipping. The trouble with placing a gigantic coaster is that, yes, you may clip through the terrain on occasion, and that is an issue. That's why Spectacle Island probably the best place to build this thing, because, yeah, it's just a very large area. You can build it on top of one of the hills and have no issues. But if, say, you built this at Hangman's Alley, the game will probably crash with all of the clipping. Just going in and out of buildings, it could be bad. And in fact, this can potentially crash your game when riding it anyways. I've ridden this thing about 20 times in my testing, and I did get one singular crash that did occur out of all those 20 times. And yeah, once the ride is done, back to here, you just have to start walking, and there you go. You get off of the little rocket ship, and boom, we're fine. And that is just glorious. Oh, I love it, I love it. So yeah, definitely some clipping issues that this thing may have because of just the sheer size, and that is why it is nice that you can, of course, deconstruct this thing to then rebuild it just to try and find the best spot possible. And just overall, it's maybe not the most useful thing ever, but it's just hilarious being able to build your own roller coaster. Like here in Starlight Drive-In, we could make our own little theme park, our own little mini Nuka World here in the Commonwealth. And that, well, that's just fun and entertaining. So that's really all there is to go over with this mod. It's pretty simple. You get a roller coaster and a Ferris wheel, and that is just great. So if you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you all have enjoyed and you come back for the next one. Until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.